Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. This is the first video of kind of my new way of doing things on the channel, which is more anime and manga focused. And I had a couple ideas of what I wanted to do. So a couple videos that are going to come out hopefully soon are overviews of the different seasons of anime. So I started watching anime 2.5 years ago. And I thought it'd be a fun thing to kind of go through all of the seasons and what I watched during them and kind of like review all the shows that came out. Maybe I could go to like a deep dive at any one of those shows, but I basically have a like spring 2022, spring 2021, whatever I watched, I can't remember. I think it might have been, I think the first one I watched was summer 2020, and then just go through all of them. And then especially, hopefully I can record this soon because it just started, but I want to record one about this upcoming, or the current one that just started, which is winter 2023. And that'll be on my desktop, so I'm not recording that because a big reason I stopped recording as much too before the gaming content was because my computer was very slow, and that's not necessarily slow, it was loud. So, because it's not the best. It's just a laptop, a gaming laptop I got a couple years ago. So when I recorded anything, even if I wasn't playing a game with like OBS or Streamlabs, it would just be so loud, and I would need to do like noise correction for the videos. So this I can just film with here, and then basically be able to not have to worry about any audio editing even. But when I'm getting a new computer in a week, I think. It depends on when everything gets delivered. It was a custom built from my work that they ended up giving me, and it's a pretty good PC. I'm excited to get it with a second monitor too. And when I get that, then I'll be able to record stuff on a computer, and I can like show my screen and kind of walk through. I was gonna walk through anime list and stuff. We'll see. The video will come out at some point. But for now, I just kind of like, okay, I want to make these videos on like a lot of them, or I want to be consistent with them, hopefully. And what would be a good thing to start with, anime, manga related. So I thought maybe it'd be fun to do a manga related one. So if you see right now, so like I said, if you watch my update video, this is a brand new house. We just bought our first house, me and my wife, and we moved in a couple weeks ago. And we're still working on it and doing stuff. But this is my office. Maybe you'll see more of it as time goes on. But I just got my bookshelf I think like a week ago. My manga before that was just in a box still, but I can actually fill it up. Before, these two, basically these two sections, that's how much space I had in my other bookshelf I was using. But this one, if you know IKEA, and this, I forget what it's called, but this goes down, there's basically 6 of these rows, so 1, 2, and then 4 more below here, so a ton of room. Some people actually, for a while I kind of paused buying manga because I couldn't fit it anymore, but now I can buy more. And my thing with manga is like, I like buying series that typically don't have an anime, or the adaptation won't be great, or series that are new and ongoing, don't have an anime announced. You'll see, well, nothing I want to show today. I'll go through my whole collection at some point or over time in multiple videos, but also like moments. I'm not a huge person. I don't need to collect everything in a series. So like I have a couple of manga, you'll see here, one of them is like that, where it's just like my favorite volume, or like it has a chapter that I love, so I bought that volume. That's all I'm gonna buy from that series, kind of thing. But yeah, I'll go through that at some point. But for today, I just picked 3 random ones that were kind of disconnected, and I don't know, I'm just gonna ramble about them and show them why I bought them. So first I'll show this one. So this is Laid Back Camp, Volume 1. It's backwards. Laid Back Camp 1. 2, I would say, I guess, main characters on the front. would say Rin is even more of a main character. Uh, so this is one of the first. This is the first subtitled anime I ever watched 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, and I fell in love with it immediately. And I watched season 2. I just watched the movie recently because it came out on Crunchyroll, and then I figured this was a good one. I just wanted to collect. Like, I love this series so much, and I want to have something physical. I actually have a poster coming. I bought a bunch of posters for our basement. But I bought volume 1 because, like, why not have it? This is a series that I actually don't want to read the manga of. I don't think it matters for it. I think it's kind of exciting for some series to not read the manga, and this one's one of those. I wait for the anime. And if it ever were to come to a point where they say no more anime, then I'll read the manga. But I have this. I'll probably read it at some point, but it's just more of a collector's thing of like remind myself why I love this series so much. So if you don't know Yuru Camp or Laid Back Camp, which is the English like translated title, it's just a slice of life about these girls in high school that go camping together and alone. And it's very, very slice of life. Almost nothing negative ever happens. And if it does, like they get rained on, it'll be solved pretty quickly. So I think why I love this so much is because it gives me. It's also because of its camping. It's very relaxing. I think there's a type of genre in Japan that is for shows or manga that like are relaxing in nature, but with the music and just kind of like the wide shots they give. The environment art is so beautiful, and they do a lot of this where the camera will be far back, and the character will be small on the screen. You see this big environment, which I don't see very often in anime. They do that to kind of show off the landscapes and everything. There's a moment in the first episode that kind of has this. I'll see if I can find it in the manga form. So if you read the manga or the anime, I've heard manga's amazing too. There's a moment. It's not that much of a spoiler, but there's just this like great landscape shot, and the way they use music to kind of emphasize some of these moments of like awe is like it's gorgeous and honestly emotional. Like there's a few episodes of the show that made me like not cry, but like well up, tear up, because I don't know, something about it is so pure, and like there's no storyline per se, but there's this big theme, in my opinion, like a big thing of why I love this show so much is this character Rin. She's very, I guess, introverted, but she's not like an outcast. She has a friend at school, probably, maybe more that we don't see, but she likes camping by herself, and she enjoys the feeling of going by herself, cooking food, sleeping, and going back home. And she meets a couple of friends, especially Nadeshko, and basically they start camping together every once in a while. And it's this story of like, it's not, it's camp with friends. It's no, camp with friends, but you can still camp by yourself too. Just because you're alone doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There's such a thing as good loneliness, I actually love that theme. One of the games I've made in the past was kind of had that theme of like good loneliness, like loneliness that doesn't feel bad. And that's kind of what this is. She's a loner, I guess, but like she embraces it, and it's okay. And she'll camp by herself, and she'll camp with friends, and she texts all of her friends. The thing the show does really good is the text on screen are really cute, and the voice actors are really amazing. But yeah, for me, I watch the anime because like I love it so much because of the music and the environment, colored art. When not always, my favorite thing about a different series might be the story about the characters. If that was the case, I'll read this, but I love the characters and stuff. But the biggest reason I watch is because I love the emotion-filled moments of like the environments, and yeah, just the music is so good. I listen to the soundtrack all the time. But yeah, so that's Laid Back Camp Volume 1. And then this one is, I talked about it in my update video too. Both of these, Yuru Camp and this one are my top 3 this is a single volume out of a manga, and it is Kaguya-sama, Love is War. And the English title is actually Kaguya-sama Wants to Be Confessed To, or the Japanese title. But they translated it to this for English copies, serialized copies, as well as the anime. So if you don't watch the show, favorite camp I love, and I wouldn't recommend it to everybody. Kaguya-sama, I would recommend it to every single person. It's the funniest anime I've seen. I watch a lot of comedies, but not everything makes me laugh out loud. This and a few other ones really make me laugh a good amount. Just recently, there's a show called Bocchi the Rock, aired last season. Very similar to this in like the gag sort of way. They can do a lot of like cutaway gags, but Bocchi made me laugh out loud in every episode. It's really good. But Kaguya-sama is amazing comedy, but also an amazing romance and drama. It just ended. The manga just ended in October, either October or November. It's volume 15, so if you've watched the anime, I won't try to spoil anything, but it just, season 3 aired. It just started in April last year, which is nuts that we're like, not almost there, but getting up to it. But it was season 3, adapted a lot of people's favorite arc. There's a movie coming out in February that's adapting basically this volume, volume 15, and the arc this volume follows. This is my favorite arc in the entire story, all of the manga, and one of my favorite arcs of anything I've read. It's so good. I won't go into why it's good. Maybe after the movie, I'll do like a review of the movie and this volume, and like kind of maybe comparisons or something. But it's so good. I think it's funny. So like, I love watching reaction videos online, and I've watched a lot of Kaguya reactions. And something that I found was, I think like a lot of people were pretty satisfied, not everyone, with the way season 3 ended. Like I said, I won't go into specifics right now because it's kind of just a ramble video, but they were like satisfied and like, the show can end here. I'll be fine if the show ended. Some people said like, I'm not even sure where they would go next. And it's funny to me because the arc that was adapted in the anime is amazing, but this one I think blows it out of the water. And honestly, it completely reframes that arc that was adapted in season 3 and the rest of the story up until that point. It's like, it's the perfect climax for this story, and it still continues even after this. So yeah, I love volume 15. Recommend Kaguya, obviously. Always I'm going to recommend. I wouldn't buy any manga that I didn't recommend, because typically I buy manga to like ones I know I like, or for the most part. But yeah, go watch the movie if you haven't read the manga, or if you read the manga, obviously, so watch the movie. But read the manga, watch the movie. I believe the season 4 is coming out. It was leaked by a pretty reliable leaker. There's a leaker that leaked that season 3 would have 13 episodes. He was right, or they were right. But it was leaked that season 4 is coming out, so I'll probably make a separate video about this because there's so many interesting things about Kaguya and the production and where the story goes from here. That would be 100% a separate video, maybe even more videos than just one. But for now, I will say I read the whole manga. Basically, if you just watch the anime, there's about the movie and 2 seasons or more, 2 seasons worth of episodes and more. So probably like, I don't know, like 30 episodes even. Yeah, they'd be cutting some things, and like I said, a story for our conversation for another time. But I love the whole thing. A lot of people say that they don't like what happens. Not that I don't like what happens, but the story goes downhill after this arc. It doesn't bother me. Kaguya I view as like, this arc is the climax of the story. And yeah, Aka could have ended it where he does in 15. But it's kind of like, hey, let's see what these characters do after this. And there's still storylines that aren't wrapped up at this point. But I don't know, most stories don't do that. And I get it, you know, we want to end on a high note, but like, I think that these characters are so good. I loved seeing them after fact. And some of my favorite chapters and moments come after this. And it's like, I get it. Like, the ending of the manga isn't everyone's favorite. The final arc and everything. I love the last, like, 15 chapters. But I agree that the final big arc is probably the weakest in the entire series. But A1, the animation studio who does the anime, they've just, I don't think they always make the right decision. Because, like, for example, like, I skipped 192, which is my first manga chapter I ever read, ever, of anything. And they skipped that chapter for season 3. And 112, I think. The community was pretty upset about that. There's 2 chapters they skipped in season 3 that, like, I feel like are so stupid. I'll definitely reread those chapters. Or like the whole arc in season 3 just to get those chapters because they're so good. But, what was I saying? I'm gonna get sidetracked a lot, I'm sorry, but they're rainbow video, so it's okay. But I think A1 will be able to bring the good parts out of the arcs that maybe people don't like as much, and honestly just improve a lot. Like, I think the pacing is gonna. It's like, I don't have any problems, to be honest, with things that come after, like the second half of the story. I'll go into a different video, but I keep talking about it. I don't have the biggest problems with the story. There are a few things, but those things I think can be solved because it's animated and because A1 can take their shot at it in terms of pacing and like things that happen. And they change stuff, you know. So I would love a full adaptation. And to be honest, if this leaked season 4 is a true thing, I don't know how they would end it at season 4 and not adapt the entire thing. It doesn't make any sense. Again, it would be pretty strange. So I would bet that there's going to be a full adaptation. I'm just curious how it is. I'll probably make videos about it. News and announcements about it. Okay, enough about that one. 17 minutes. I'll end it with this one. So I just have 3 here. So this is a bit of a different one. People probably don't know this one. Kageki shoujo. So this is in this anime I watched, and it released. I'm pretty sure it was either. Oh no! I mean, it had to have been 2019 or 2021. I can't remember what season it was, but it was 12 episodes. It's a kind of a slice of life, but it's a drama about these all girls performing art school. I love slice of life in drama and stuff like this, and it was so good. It was like never talked. Like the discussion threads on Reddit were never popular. That the anime doesn't even. I don't even know where it's at in my anime list, like rankings, but no one ever talks about it. And the subreddit is dead. But cool enough, they actually have. They're being published in English in America, which, you know, surprising. There's some series that are way more talked about online and don't have serialization and stuff, but this one does. And when the anime ended, they were only up to like volume 4, which the anime ended at 6, I believe. And I was like, oh my god, I have to wait because there is no fan translation, and there's no digital versions online either. So I had to wait. This just got shipped a few weeks ago, I think. But this is basically where the anime leaves off. I have to probably reread where the anime left off, like volume 6. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that. It's this like cast ensemble of these girls, these 2 of the main characters, right? The manga art style is a bit different, so I actually can't tell if that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's an ensemble cast of these girls, and they're in an all-girl school, and they're doing this performance art. It's like dancing and singing and acting. But there's some great storylines in the anime, like really, really good. And I'm so excited to see where it goes. I think volume 8 comes out in a few months, or even like next month. And I have it pre-ordered. And I'm so hopefully they keep translating them and publishing them, because I'm gonna keep buying them because I really wanted to see the continuation of the story. So I'm excited to read this. I haven't read it yet. Maybe I'll do, after I read it, I'll do a video on it. Because this is like, I can't do like a read through of this in a video because it's just 7. It's like in the middle of the story. So yeah, kageki shoujo. I really, kageki shoujo. It's backwards. It's having a hard time. I don't want to even spell myself. I actually can't remember if the first that season ended in the middle of this book, or it did in volume 6. I would imagine it ended in volume 6. Some good art here. Yeah, it's pretty. They're good looking characters, and the drama is really good. There's a really great backstory of a character that was like, oh man, that's like Fruits Basket level of like good. So yeah, that's it. I guess I didn't show anything with Kaguya in terms of like inside. I don't want to spoil anything. Because if you haven't seen it, I would definitely go into this as blind as you can, because it's like, I don't know, when I read it for the first time, it was surprising, and also just like, it was so moving, and it kind of just like came out of nowhere for me. I loved the Culture Festival arc, but this hit, and I was like, no, this is a masterpiece. Like, I love this. It's a masterpiece. I like how the whole story is basically in volume 15, so I can have this whole book, and it's just like, I can read this arc if I ever want to. But I know when the anime comes out, it's gonna be really good. I just have a feeling. I know early reviews say it's really good, and then like a 1-to-1 adaptation, so I probably won't read this, but I'll just rewatch the anime. Yeah, I won't show anything, just because maybe this little artwork on the front page. Sorry if that was loud. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been like, when season 3 ended, I've been like thinking about it all the time. Only a few more weeks, hopefully. I don't know exactly what date in February, but and I believe it'll come to the city I live in. So I'm gonna go with my wife and then our 2 friends that I've showed the anime to, and they haven't read the manga, so excited. So yeah, I have just these 3 volumes that I kind of covered in that camp. It's like a thumbnail. I know some people do that. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Kind of ramble. To be honest, this is probably what's going to be moving forward, and who knows? I hope people watch it. I'll do other stuff, but this is kind of what I like making. And if people start watching and subscribing, that's gonna be amazing, because then I can just do what I like, because this is what I want. I talk about this stuff all the time, and I wanted like a platform to just like talk about it. You don't have to agree with me, and I want to discuss it too. Like, that's the thing. I want people, because whenever someone does like an anime and manga video, I always comment, just like asking them like what other shows they like, or asking about the thing they were talking about. And I want that to happen. I want people to comment on these videos and like talk about stuff and recommend stuff to me that I don't know about, and just discuss things. And maybe I'll have bad takes that people can criticize. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. Stay cool.